Good morning. I'm sorry for the delay. We were just expecting some more people to talk to. All right. Just introducing myself, I'm Dwani Dodeja from IC3 Institute. Um, and we have three prominent leaders from the industry. We have Miss Nirmal Vadan. She's the principal from the Kalyani School, Pune. Then we have Miss Jyoti Reddy, and she's the principal from the Sri Ram Universal School, Hyderabad. And then we have Miss Radhika Srinivasan, Dr. Radhika Srinivasan. She is from Billabong High International School. She's recently moved from a Sri Ram school to Billabong. All right. So since we know what we're here for, we're talking about a lot of leadership development, right? And we know how important it is. So, just through the medium of guidance and counseling is our way forward. And again, it's not limited to just the students, it's across with various stakeholders. So, welcome to the session. And it's a panel discussion. So, let's hear it from the leaders themselves, right? All right. So before we begin, just till the others are joining in, what is it that you're looking for in this session? Just what is it that you want to learn from this session? How to develop leaders. Okay. How to develop. Anyone else? What will be the role of school educators or the counselor in building's leadership development? Okay. And
as a leader of the school, how teachers or how different stakeholders come together, because it's easier for us to get counselors, universities, and all of it together, but it's difficult for us to get teachers in loop to get all of this done, because mentorship is a concept we are talking for the future, but then teachers are way busier. So how do we collaborate with them?
amazing. So I think, have answers for all of it because somehow we did understand that it's not just about students, but a lot of other aspects as well as stakeholders. So let's begin. Um, Talking about leadership development, right? So first and foremost, Dr. Jyoti ma'am, I think, can I have a clicker? And do we have any virtual audience? Good morning. Thank you.
एक मिनट
Okay.
वर्किंग
Yeah. Sorry. Do we have any virtual audience? No? Okay. Next slide. Okay. So should I go there instead? I'll go stand. Yeah. That's fine. Go stand. So यहाँ से करो change.
एक
right?
सेकंड हाँ
Okay.
ठीक है
Children. Okay. Perfect. So let's come to Dr. Jyoti. What are the benefits of having a well-rounded leadership development program that includes guidance and counseling?
Namaste, everyone. See, when we are speaking about holistic development in the education sector, well-rounded leadership development program, which includes guidance and counseling, always has a larger impact in terms of leadership development in students. See, we all agree that the counseling or the guidance is to support the individual, whether it is a student or educator or any stakeholder. If they are into counseling or guidance, it is to help them to figure out their strengths, areas of improvement, and from there that guidance helps them to actually bring out their own potential and use their potential. So if we relate that statement in terms of how does guidance and counseling helps in leadership development. All schools, all institutions or organizations, in particular, if we are speaking about schools, we do have many leadership development programs for students. We design many leadership development programs. Until and unless we know the interest of the student and we know the strength of the student or area of the improvement, it is like one menu for all. So these are the leadership development programs, you get enrolled. So the child sometimes will be lost. Some things might be fascinating for the child to get into that particular club or the program. Sometimes, because of the peers, influence also, they get enrolled. Whereas if we bring in this guidance and counseling, when we are using the word synergy, what I feel is when we have these interactions with counselors and guidance, so nothing is compartmentalized. So these interactions with guidance, with counselors, help the students to know where they are, where they can go. Instead of getting into a leadership development program where they get into inferiority complex, not performing as other friends, if they can figure out that, okay, this particular program might help me to do the best. Later, I can help myself on developing on my areas of improvement. Then they chose the right program, they get enrolled because they can figure out. So all the confusion or chaos in the mind get cleared, then they can choose the right platform and get into those leadership programs, right? And also as a part of the guidance and counseling, we do have goal settings, right? For all the students, we make them involved in goal setting exercise. When they are doing their goal setting, all they have to figure out their SWOT analysis, that is SWOT analysis, strengths, areas, opportunities, threats, and all. And most of the times, what happens is the influences of their primary classes, the incidents in their primary schooling definitely have an effect on their mindset when they get into the middle school years and the high school. So guidance and counseling sessions, if it is a routine in the school,
Amazing.
the influence of those events will not make them get influenced. So they will come out of that cocoon or shell and they might try to figure out going into the light from the darkness of their biases or prejudices, which are the echoes of their life incidents in the primary classes.
Amazing. This is so beautifully put that you don't need to highlight it later on and tell them, oh, choose for it. It just develops from an earlier age beautifully as a part of your growing up and something that is so essential and a must kinds. Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right. So next question is for Dr. Radhika. Just generally understanding we know that a lot of things are happening around where we are talking about leadership development and how important it is, right? What are the future trends that you see generally in the synergy of the practice of counseling and guidance in this particular area of skill development?
Yeah, thank you, Dhwani. So definitely, I think looking towards the future and looking towards how leadership development can be synergized and would have a very symbiotic relationship with guidance and counseling. I think surely we all can predict, and that's a no-brainer, that technology is going to play a big part in these future trends. And perhaps it's going to be hyper personalized. Every student is going to get a leadership pathway through guidance and counseling, which is going to be very personalized and very customized to his or her interests, proclivities, mindsets, and attitudes. So use of technology is going to help us develop such customized, hyper-personalized programs. I think it's definitely going to be more collaborative. And
Amazing.
that is something which we all as educators and as leaders and heads of institutions should realize, that the resources which we have individually would really, it's the sum of the parts. If all the resources are pooled together, it's going to be a very, very effective program. So if, a school in my neighborhood has a counselor, and I'm also, in need of a counseling resource, this collaboration is going to help us both. So it's going to be collaborative, it's going to be focused, it's going to be hyper personalized use of technology. And the emphasis is perhaps going to be on EQ more than IQ.
Amazing. Yes.
That's the trend, that no longer are we so focused only on the academic scores, but a lot more of EQ and emotional quotient and emotional intelligence needs to play a part in the future. So perhaps those are the future trends, and which we can see right now. The concept of coaching and mentorship is again very powerful, and to have a mentor-mentee relationship with your students is different from being a teacher and being a mentor, and which means that we need to start training our educators to become mentors, to become coaches. And this is going to be the need, because that those small one-to-one interactions with your students is what is going to define the way that they look at future leadership opportunities. They are going to be able to lead only if you give them that opportunity to lead in schools with the proper guidance and counseling. We all have student council programs in our schools, but I think we need to focus a lot on training that student council to take on effective leadership roles for their student community and those student leaders, and developing those opportunities through the right guidance and counseling. So that's
Amazing. So basically, the 4 or 5 relevant points that are coming in future trends, if I may just summarize a little, it's absolutely your EQ, your emotional quotient is very high. I agree. Leadership is all about collaboration, is what you're saying in future. You're talking about coaching and mentorship. And lastly, use of technology. I think that's also an important part of now being incorporated in developing leadership skills. Thank you, ma'am. All right. So moving on to now from various stakeholder perspectives, right? So what is it we want to learn? So I may ask Ms. Nirmal Vadan, ma'am, if you may tell us that for students, what is it that some of the best practices that we can design and implement, right? For in terms of through the guidance and counseling programs that are aligned in developing the leadership skills, specifically for students. How would you go about it?
Namaste and a very good morning to everybody present here. For students, we can do lots actually, but we have to inculcate all these things in our school timetable. And we can't say that we don't have time to inculcate all these things, because these are essential. Like I'll tell you, in our school, we have 1 hour given per week for the mentoring classes. And in the mentoring classes, for grades 6 upwards, we have a student advisory program. Now, student advisory program, I know it's run in the IB, but I have a CBSE school, but we have taken the best and we have put that in our CBSE school also, because we know it's essential. In the student advisory program, in grade 6th and 7th, we teach them goal setting and smart goal setting. Goal setting is different, smart goal setting is different. Now, the children write their smart goals academically, career-wise, and personal also. So they make their 3 goals in grade 6. The same goals they repeat in grade 7. Why? Because the goals keep on changing. And sometimes one girl came to me and she said, "Ma'am, I wanted to become a fashion designer earlier. Now I want to become a space astronaut." And this is only possible because of the exposure the school has given me. In the mentoring periods, we call the guest lecturers in our school, and we call the parents as resources. A dentist can come, a cosmetologist can come. And if anybody is working in the science and the research field, we call that person also to speak in the mentoring period. to our students. Then we also have target setting, taught to our children how to set particular targets, how to reach your goals. Then there are other programs like student-led conferences, which are held by the students, and the parents are sitting in front of them, in front of each child, where there are set ground rules. I think we've shown some pictures for that, where the ground rules are set by the students, that no mobiles will be entertained here and all those things. And the student speaks to the parents about his or her achievement, to the parents in a very formal atmosphere. And the parents come to know, yes, my child has reached this particular level in the academics and this particular level in the sports or the cultural field. So it's a very formal atmosphere, because I remember I was the fifth child and my father did not know in which grade I was studying. So in a formal atmosphere, when the parents are sitting and it's a student-led conference, parents are very well aware of the achievements of the students. Then we also have student-led activities in our school. Like one of the student of grade 7, very, he's at the level of autism, but very intellectual. And we wanted to push him a little bit further. He gave a call to me during the COVID session, and he said, ma'am, I want to have the workshop for the students. I want to lead the workshop for the students where I teach them how to develop a website. I said, why not? All I had to do was frame a mail, send a mail to the parents, and link and the time. Children joined, and there are many children who were benefited because of Rishit, who took the onus, became a leader, and he showed the children how to make the website over a series of sessions, of course. Then we have job shadowing also in our school. Job shadowing, internal job shadowing and external also. Internal, some child wants to become an HR. Some children job shadow me also for 2 days. Some children job shadow the teachers, accountants in the school. That's for grade 8. For grade 8, again, we also have professional doors, where each class is of 30 is divided into 6 groups. So 5 children in one group. And there are 5 different careers given to them. And that group collaboratively works for that one profession and presents in front of the audience. So if there are 4 divisions in grade 8 and there are 6 in one groups in one class, so 6 4s are 24. That means when the presentation is happening and the whole grade 8 is sitting, 24 different careers are being exposed to your children. These are the things we do, and those children in the group, they come forward, they become leaders, and they showcase what they have researched in a form of a PowerPoint, which normally an MBA student does. And we do it in grade 6, 7, 8 onwards. Then 9th onwards, we have a proper career counseling curriculum set, where how to write an essay, the LOs and everything, or everything is taught to our children. And Dhwani has been a part of the career counselor team of mine. So she'll be able to elaborate later on in case she has time. I think I've spoken too much. Thank you.
So amazing. So basically, if you see, it's all aligned where they're saying that these to be taken as a part of your normal curriculum and align it with that, and at an early age, so that it just naturally flows in the skill building. And by the time they're into their high school, it's just so solid, they're just so fluent with it, and it's just a regular part of it. And if you see, we're talking about leadership, it's not just being the topmost, but like ma'am said, it's more about being together with leading a certain thing. So equal opportunities for all, at the same time leading your own skill ahead and taking others together with you, which is beautiful. Thank you, ma'am. Now for parents, I may want to ask Radhika ma'am, what do you think? What are those best practices that you align?
Yeah. So thank you, Nirmal ma'am. So also being part of the, the Sri Ram family, we have these programs very well aligned in our curriculum. And we have this practice called the 3-way handshake, which is parents as equal partners in the students' progress. So when this is aligned, when we know that parents are the goal for a parent also is to see the student become successful, and the same goal is for the school as well. So if we kind of reiterate that and align that, then parents will be part of your mission. So some specific things which we can do to ensure that parents are on board with these initiatives is one thing definitely is communication. And you know we have started this in Shriram, and I hope it would continue even with the next successive leader, is to have a career newsletter. And the career newsletter could be the frequency. We've decided to have 4 issues of the career newsletter, and there, in that career newsletter there's going to be a corner for parents also. So parents are going to speak about their own careers, some challenges and pitfalls that they have faced in their careers. So this is
Wow.
something which if a parent shares that, you know, this was what I faced in while preparing for my career, or this is a career shift that I had to make because of this reason. So we've put that in, factored in, that the career pitfalls of parents could be something which would be very beneficial for students. Definitely having parent interactions at regular intervals, as Nirmal ma'am said, student-led conferences where parents are formally involved. And also informally, we have walk-in days where we have one career news board where the students are displaying the things that they're doing as part of their SAP program, the student advisory program. We can also have one section of the website which is dedicated to parent inputs. We can give the complete charge of that part of the website to parents to develop. So parents, when they have these uh, leadership initiatives for them specifically, that I think would help in aligning the school's mission of guidance and counseling, and it would be truly a synergetic environment. Definitely communication is key, and keeping parents in the loop of what happens, invite them to the school, not necessarily always only for the annual day or for the sports day. It could be a special assembly. And if you're having a special assembly conducted by the SAP program, please invite the parents, ask them to speak as panelists, ask them to be resource people, expert talks. A lot of resources are within the parent community, and I think it's only prudent for schools to cash in on those resources, because parents feel very invested, and parents as partners, I think, is the order of the day. We just cannot have this, that parents versus school. That should not be the approach. Parents may have a lot of demands, but if you just give them a listening ear, they do settle down. And giving them an opportunity to speak and to interact and to be invested in their child's progress, I think that's key.
All right. Thank you. All right. And very, very key elements that you actually mentioned for parents. And I love the ideas where, this small thing of the mistakes that they have done in their careers. I think it's beautiful, right? I mean, it's so beautiful. I mean, you would like to learn besides just the best practices. It's so
So,
nice.
just a very simple this thing from my own family. My niece studied to be a dentist, and she completed the bachelor's program. She interned with a prominent dentist, and after 5 years, of 5 6 years, she said, "No, I don't want to continue that." And can you guess what was the issue that she faced? It was so simple and so trivial. So she is left-handed. And she realized that in most dentist clinics, the equipment is meant for right-handed people. And after having worked through the dentistry program, and after having interned with dentists, she was starting to get spine and
Oh.
other issues. And when she went to the orthopedist, they said that it's simply because all of you're using your left hand, and you're not,
Yeah,
your right
yeah.
hand is compromised and all of that. So she had to give up her dentistry practice for this simple thing, that because she was
My
left-handed.
God.
And which meant that either she has to establish a clinic of her own, which in which the equipment was aligned towards left-handed people, but again she has to hire only left-handed assistants.
Wow. Such an insightful thing, right? From others, these small things, but you learn so much more and so much perspective it gives you. Amazing. I think fabulous idea. All right. So now, um, Dr. Jyoti, ma'am, you tell me about how about for the other stakeholder, which we're talking about. Yes, the school educators, the most important people.
Yeah, this is a very complex question, right? The best practices for designing, implementing guidance and counseling programs that are aligned with developing leadership skills in educators.
In
So
educators.
most of the times we focus on student counseling and guidance so that they become leaders.
Right.
And then the parents, as ma'am mentioned, that we have to invest our time in parents also, and we have to handhold the parents. Um, so for me, it is educators. I'm excited to speak about that because what I feel is educators, the role is not just an educator, it's a combination of leader, educator, and a motivator.
Yes.
Whatever happens in the child's life, it's the result of the teacher
True.
or the educator in their life. And every school has one or two or three or four counselors, right? And if we don't think seriously to bring in these guidance and counseling programs to the table of teachers, we are not doing 100% justice. Teachers should get into guidance and counseling. That is from the point of how they become the counselors to handle students, right? So again, the focus is towards students. If I have to restrict my answer to developing leadership in educators or teachers through guidance and counseling, what I feel is we have to give them that platform where they get an opportunity and their mentors get an opportunity to analyze their strengths and areas of development and the opportunities. So if we show the career path, despite being a teacher in the school, within that ecosystem, how career growth is there. For example, let me not speak in the air. For example, a teacher is there. We generally give this, we do this delegation of duties depending upon the in charge roles
Yeah.
for various activities. Sometimes we land up in assigning a particular individual as per the list or the
Yeah.
experience or whatever in the domain where she or he is not at all interested to handle that
Yeah.
program, to take it forward. And most of the teachers, they don't have voices to come to the leaders or the senior leaders and say, I'm not interested to handle this learning journey or Independence Day celebration or annual day, but I'm more interested to do something else.
Right.
They just take it as, okay, the duty list has come, and they do it, but they don't find that happiness. When we are saying that happiness is the quotient to make any individual to give out their best, are we giving that time or the platform to the educators to analyze their strengths and areas of improvement and their interest? Are we giving that choice and voice to the educators to put it across that, okay, this is the school calendar, I want to take up these, I want to be in this committee? That's one. The second is the skip level meetings, right? We do have staff meetings. If we make it, so whatever I'm speaking, it is happening in our institution. That's what I'm sharing my experiences because it's giving results. That's where they are taking the ownership of doing anything. Today I'm
Beautiful.
here and 3 major events are getting organized in the campus because we empowered the teachers so that their leadership skills are coming out. So
Amazing.
these skip level meetings, it's not about the transaction, what's happening in the classroom. It's about how are they finding their role, what are the issues, and how do we help, how do we support. Then the and we do have goal setting for teachers also.
Wow.
They have to analyze their strengths areas and what they want to do. And when it is about discussing about their career path or whatever, every teacher cannot become the principal in the
Yes.
vertical growth if they want to stick in that organization. So if we show the horizontal growth to them, because some teachers are very good in content development.
Yeah.
So if we have a research development cell within the school, or if they can become HODs,
Yeah.
they can become student leaders, they can become the head student advisory. So like how we are breaking our mind
Wow.
to show variety, that menu list to the students. If we show the variety of leadership development programs within the school ecosystem, then the attrition problem also gets arrested. Because see, a teacher looks for another organization when the role is not interested, when they are not valued, when there is no challenge in what they are doing, right?
Beautiful.
And if they want, so why do we enroll? Means instead of enrolling our counselors, I feel, see, this year we decided to make 3 or 4 teachers get enrolled in that Embark program, which is
Wow.
actually for school leader,
Right.
whoever it is. So until and unless the teachers get into these roles and see the opportunities,
Right.
we can't bring out their leadership skills.
Amazing.
Right. And even the middle management, I will take 2 minutes,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
more
yeah.
than
Please,
that.
please, please.
Because this is a crucial point,
It's
because
very
in all
beautiful.
platforms we discuss students, we discuss principals, that core senior leaders, we discuss about parents. About teachers, hardly there are platforms
yeah.
to really focus and discuss about them.
True.
Right. So in that way, the middle management also, whom we call coordinators, uh, we are expected to have mentor mentee coaching. We don't give solutions, right, in coaching. So until and unless we have that one-to-one conversation and understand their psyche and their challenge and make them to come out this with solutions, they don't see that leadership until and unless we make them feel empowered, right? And we do have this competency mapping in our school.
Okay.
Yeah, every teacher is the respective the leader of the segment is expected to do the competency mapping and do the gap analysis of their competencies and skills.
Wow.
And training programs of the school are designed based on the gap analysis. They are
Amazing.
not like, okay, 50 hours or 80 hours professional development of training.
And yeah.
So the resource person mil gaya, so let us enroll 25
And
teachers
done.
into 6
No.
hours. It's not like that. So
Good.
segment wise, the gap analysis is done and the customized teacher training analysis is done. So even the senior teachers, when we feel that succession planning is done again in the school, in terms of, okay, if I leave, 2 people are ready to take my role as of now.
Wow.
And when those VPs come into my role, we have 6 people who can get into VP's role.
Nice.
And then, so succession planning is also done. All this is done through guidance and counseling because of the internal intervention, frequent interventions in their day-to-day job. It's not
Amazing.
like, again, compartmentalized meetings that chalo, come, let's do your goal setting. Whatever they are doing as per their responsibility, the review meeting, analysis meeting, then the next level leadership kya hona hai. I do not want to become a VP, but I want to lead something. For that, what are your skill set? So we give that period that, okay, 6 months may you get enrolled in this. And you don't believe, Dhwani, one of our regular teacher is enrolled in B.Ed in special education because she found value, because our school is an inclusive school. We do have special children. So when she is handling those special children, she found that she is very good and she is giving results in handling those special children. So having B.Ed, she has enrolled in special education B.Ed.
Wow.
So that's where, like, how we are tapping the energy and the potential of the students as the top level school leaders should have this eye for detail in tapping the potential of the teaching community.
Amazing.
Then they find value in getting associated with the organization. Thank you.
Amazing. I think that's the core, right? This is so beautifully said that, like even how Ganesha says that today students are not happy because they really are not finding their purpose. She's actually, what she said is she's trying to help the teachers find their own purpose and what makes them happy, and empowering as a leadership. These guys are empowering them with taking their particular skill set and developing it to lead it. It's beautiful. Thank you.
One second,
Yes,
I'll
yes,
take,
yes.
please. One thing what I feel, whatever we are doing for parents and students in terms of giving them the knowledge about different careers and all, whether it is, see, we have also done What Lies Beneath the Iceberg series,
Okay.
where the guest speakers are all expected to speak only about their failures, then how they got
Wow.
into success. So it is for parents, students, and teachers. So teachers also don't get demotivated
Wow.
that, okay, if I can't handle one bacha,
It's okay.
it's fine. I have
Yeah.
to figure out the ways to handle that bacha.
Beautiful.
Then forging whatever career counseling sessions and programs are done, we have to give that platform for the teachers to attend that, because the teacher is expected to face the child in the classroom. When a senior class teacher, grade 9 and 10 teacher, uh, gets a question, if she faces a question like, ma'am, I want to do this course, what are the universities, the teacher should not be handicapped to say go and meet the career counselor. She should be well equipped to
Amazing.
handle those queries, at least in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 2 3 points for 5 5 6 7 point, I think you need specialized
Wow.
counselor, then directing.
Amazing.
So then the students also gain that respect for their teachers. Teachers feel empowered, and हमारे teachers तो syllabus and lesson plans में डूब गए हैं,
Huh.
and careers choices are going somewhere else. Until and unless we create that
Yeah.
space for the teachers to know what's happening
Agree.
outside world, she should feel empowered that
Yes.
I can speak about career choices with my students.
Yeah.
Then the bond between teacher and students also
Right.
strengthens.
Right.
Thank you. If I take
Yeah. I mean, I was just coming to
I would
that.
like
I
to
mean,
add to
yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah,
Dhwani ma'am.
please.
The SAP student advisory program, what we have, the homeroom teacher is made an advisor. That means she has to connect with the students of her class, of the 30 children in a class, and guide them. So if the teacher is not empowered, she is not knowledgeable, how will she guide the children and become the advisor? So this is just in connection with that. Thank you.
Amazing. Amazing. So I was just coming to that when you said the syllabus and they're just stuck with this. So there are many other challenges that will come your way, right? Not just taking care of these practices. And you guys are fabulous where you are providing a lot of support to various stakeholders, like you just mentioned, and beyond. I must say it's way beyond, because in your open mindset itself, you guys want to empower. But there'll be so many challenges coming your way, right? So I may just want to ask uh, you know, Nirmal ma'am, will come to that because she has a beautiful activity based on the challenges, how they face, and something related to it. So we'll come to that part in a bit. Just one more question before that, because then we'll start moving around. Radhika ma'am, I may want to ask you exactly where, when we come to, how do you kind of measure the effectiveness at the end of it when you're doing so much, right? Like ma'am said, she has gap analysis and stuff for teachers. How is it that you measure, you're trying to provide a lot of support, there's obviously challenges faced, but how is it that we measure the effectiveness? How do you know it's really this is working or not?
So I think coming from a research background and providing data and making data-based decisions is the most important. Every decision of yours has to be based on data. There might be something which looks extremely good on paper, but the implementation may not fall through, or if we don't measure the efficacy. So definitely pre and post test surveys. Before you implement a certain initiative, a leadership initiative, you have a pre-test and a post-test survey, focused group discussions, a lot of triangulation of data, not just one data source, but you need to find out the student might. So for example, I'll just giving you an example. We had a drama class at school, and the students were extremely happy about the drama class. There was not a single student who said that no, it was not interesting, or it was not I didn't enjoy it, because obviously it didn't follow the academic routines, and it was time for children to be expressive. But when we asked the teachers, uh, whether it has helped them in an English play, being Shriram being an ICSC school, did it help the child navigate Shakespeare? It didn't. When we asked the parents that, does it help your child be more expressive or have some kind of stage presence? It didn't. So triangulation of data is extremely important, getting the data reports from all the stakeholders and
Yes.
finding out whether it's really
Amazing.
effective. So triangulation of data, pre and post test surveys, and look at generic data also before you initiate any initiatives in your school, or look at what the data and research says about that, because there is some generic data that we need to fall back on and make some data driven decisions. Call up a principal or a head of school who has done that program and find out, was it effective in your school? Because especially if you're relying on external vendors and external resource people to do that training, you have limited control on what's going to
Exactly.
happen
Yeah.
in your school. So surveys, questionnaires, perception surveys.
Yes.
We do a lot of surveys which are only numerical data, but perception survey is very important.
Yeah.
How do you perceive? What do you feel? What's your opinion? We cannot only have a rating scale and say, a 5-point Likert scale and things like that, but we also need to have perception data,
Right.
which is important. And we need to analyze the perception data to find out whether any of these initiatives which we've carried out in school have been effective or not.
Amazing. Thank you. So basically, we just don't need quantifiable data to measure success or effectiveness, but we can have a lot more beyond and very honest, where we can learn about the effectiveness. Thank you. So coming back to Nirmal ma'am, you about the challenges, because that's the critical aspect where as a leader, you're providing a lot of support, a lot of opportunities, but the challenges that come your way is the most important, how you tackle them and how you overcome them. So please, if you could just elaborate on that.
To develop the leadership skills in anybody, we need the support of all the stakeholders. Now let's take a student. If a student wants to do something in a school, we need the support of the parent, principal, teachers, admin staff, along with the resources which are available in the school. And in case one of them just is not ready to give the support, the whole ecosystem of that child collapses and the child is not ready to move forward. So I think this I'll explain to you through an activity. I think we'll all just get up. I would require volunteers, Dhwani ma'am.
Yeah.
I think
Come.
you two can just come. And there are labels here. I'm a student here today.
You'll have any questions regarding this? Anything till now? So we can take some time for the activity and we can also involve you all in the next stage. Is that okay? Yeah.
Everybody's got a label. Okay, so let's keep the chairs in the corner and let's all stand in a circle. I'm a student. You can see my label. Yeah, come. Please stand. You just make a circle and stand.
This activity is titled
Web of Leadership. Please come here. It's a circle, complete circle now. I'm a student and this is my label. And Dhwani ma'am, please come. I want to start a space club. And I got interested in this activity. Why? Because the school had organized and scientists from ISRO, and it's a fact. This is what has actually happened in my school. When it is not happened in my school, that time I'll say that this has not happened in my school, because we were all very positive about that. And she came to understand about the ISRO scientist, and she developed that inquisitiveness and she wanted to become a space astronaut. So she went and spoke to the counselor. Okay. Now, first, I'm a student and I am going to be throwing the ball to my counselor, and I'm going to wind this here because I need to hold it tight. I have to become a space astronaut. Okay. So I first gave my idea to the counselor. Now, Anoli ma'am, I have shared my idea with you. How can you help me?
Okay, first of all, I think it's a wonderful idea.
One round.
Yes, and it's also nice how you're trying to explore your passion and do something additional and also get more practical knowledge. I think to start off with, you should, have your objective, the importance, and how you're going to help, what activities you're going to plan in this. You can, probably list that and you can bring and show it to me. I can help you with that. Also, there
And I
are,
want to start a space club in the school
right.
for students. So how
Okay.
can you help?
Okay, so there then that's why I said first you can come up with all the objectives, the ideas, what would you like to do for the students also. We also had, alumni. So if you want, I can get you connected with people who have done this, previously also. So you can get some guidance, you can get some help from there as well. Okay, so now I need to pass it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whose help will you require now?
Okay, so I think for this, it'll also be a good idea that you go to your class teacher or your subject teacher who can give you more guidance on the subject and what you can do. So,
School staff.
okay, school staff.
Yeah. How are you going to help the student?
All right. So we know that the culture in the school is to provide support. So I may encourage the child, okay, what is it that your ideas are all about?
Make it
How is
tight.
it that what do you want to what do you want to do about the space after the at the end of it when you create the space club, what is it that you want to take it forward with, and whatever support in terms of material or resources to research, I will be there with the child to do it with the person and guide her through what is the exact information, whether it's factual or not, and what is it that she should take it forward to kind of lead and encourage other, motivate other children or teach them about it.
So now you will require some permissions. So where will you go?
So for that, again, providing support and go to my higher authority.
Make it tight. Make it tight, please.
Yeah, fantastic, Nirmal, that you have come up with the idea of Space Club. I'm very proud of you as the principal of the school. Wow, Space Club in our school. It's very exciting. I hope you have met the career counselor if she has any inputs, and have you met the teachers?
Yes, ma'am. I have met the physics mentor and I've met the school counselor.
Okay, now if I have to give permission to you to initiate the Space Club, I need a structured program, the project plan, how you are going to initiate, how you are going to spread the Space Club activities, what's the duration of this program, and what are the resources that you require. So you can get back if that clarity is not there to your counselor and the teacher, and get back with the project report in terms of resources, in terms of duration, in terms of the curriculum, that is the transaction, in terms of the objective of starting a space club, in terms of the beneficiaries of this club, what is the bandwidth of your initiative touching the different stakeholders, whether it's how many grades are getting involved, what is the end result that you are expecting. Then once resources are in place, you have to take the help of admin staff to get a clarity about the finance involved also. If I have to provide additional transport, is it going to be after school, or it is within the school? Within the school, hardly I think Nirmal timetable will not help me out. So figure out the timings also and the logistics. Once the project report is ready, once again, I will have a meeting. And what is the parent involvement here? Everything I want it as a project report. Then
I'll give you everything.
yeah, okay, then get back to me with the project report.
Ma'am, I've already made a PowerPoint, and if you have time, give me an appointment. I'll come and show you the PowerPoint. And everything what you've spoken is written there because my counselor guided me properly. She told me to make a PowerPoint presentation and come to you because you don't have the time to give me.
Nirmal ma'am, I got to know about the project. Yeah, Nirmal, I got to know about the project, and I think it's really great. And I'm the admin person. So principal ma'am talked with me. She gave me an idea, an overview of what it is. I would like to know from you, what are the requirements? If you can give me a list of what kind of a room you will need, what kind of materials you will need, how many people do you need for support, weekly, how many times are you going to run this, what resources additionally are the parents going to come, any other resource persons going to come. If you can give me all of this in a list, I can start with the approval process and begin the work.
Ma'am, here is the list.
Okay,
Yeah,
one second.
okay, thank you.
Paurnimi, admin, I think you must have got everything, but I can't just rely on a student leading this project.
Yes.
I need a teacher mentor or who is
Yes.
going to take the lead from the teaching community as in charge teacher for this program.
Yeah.
Then let's send the communication to the parents.
Yes.
Now you have to talk to the parent of that child first. Parent is here. Throw the ball. Let's raise the web.
All right. So I'm the parent of Nirmal, and my child is very, very interested in space, and I want to support her in all what she wants to do. I've bought a telescope for her at home. I bought all the books, and I brought everything for her that she needs. And now she wants to lead this new initiative at school. As a parent, I have certain problems. Because the first problem is she's telling me 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, please come and pick me up at 6 p.m. from school. I'm very sorry. I am at work at that time and I don't have any other support system. So sorry, Nirmal, I won't be able to. If it's happening within school hours, please go ahead. But after school, sorry, I just can't support this. So
It could be the as a principal at our level also, maybe the extra resources and the budget, it is not budgeted, it is a sudden idea.
No money is required.
The transportation after school hours, it is only the parent should pick it up. If the school has to provide the transport, we have to scrap, we can't start this club only. So the challenge at principal,
Yeah, and the challenge at the parent level is also there. So this whole web, it just collapses because one stakeholder is not ready to support that leadership what the child had taken. So this was the activity.
Thank you. I mean, this was so beautifully done and beautifully explained. So, just if I have to just say that it's not just providing support, it's not just about giving opportunities and stuff, but to sustain that, just for a child to learn that particular skill and follow his or her passion. I think it's very important to have all the stakeholders equally doing their bits in the full form of wherever we can provide and support it throughout, right? Maybe the parents is okay for 2 times, they'll say okay, let's support 2 times, and then they'll be like, you know what, I just can't do it. Imagine.
So any 1 minute card over there.
Perfect. All right, so I will just quickly ask y'all if you have to. Yes, please. If y'all have any questions, some takeaways from this session, what would it be?
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful session with a lot of points discussed, a lot of topics covered in this 1 hour's time. So one important point which I would like to take away from the session is career counselor being part of the teaching community. Like the entire career counselors, when they are from the teaching community, like a subject teacher, the impact is really, really more. Being, if it is not like a separate session or a cell which is functioning independently, when it is interlinked with the entire community, it has a lot of impact. So that is something which is very
Amazing.
important, and it came through across when the principals are so supportive, and when the teaching community is also part of that counseling department, then the child is at the center and the focus goes back to the child, and that is why we all are here, and that is the aim of the program.
So just to put that into perspective, before I wanted my teachers to take on this IC3 Institute program, I decided to complete it myself.
Very good.
Yeah,
So
that is amazing. When the principals are very supportive, counselors
So
and
I
the
cannot
teachers
just
get
tell
that.
my teachers that, hey, you go and do this counseling, this thing. So I completed the 1-year program yesterday, and that's why I'm able to talk to you today.
That's amazing, ma'am. And support from everyone and finding the purpose. Right now, we got the perspective of, as a teacher, how we find our purpose, and then that impact of that impacts the students and their learning.
Thank you so much,
Dhwani.
Rashmi. Yeah. Yes, please. We just have 30 seconds left, so yeah. Don't worry.
Yes, ma'am. I think we must tell you that this is perhaps the best breakout session that we've attended.
Wow. Thank you.
But having said that, and you've put so much out there that I have a question about, we have a school that runs different streams. We have the IB, we have the Cambridge, we have the CBSE. So we have a career counseling committee across those streams. But then timetabling and bringing this on a common platform at a common time becomes a huge issue, because of which a lot of things get scrapped. So how do we make a timetable that involves?
She is a pro at this. She's just too good.
We just recently made a mentoring period for 1 hour. But what we've done is we've taken it in chunks. Suppose 6 to 7, 6 to 8, which is a middle school, has the mentoring period on a Monday in the first 2 periods. Then 9th to 10th will have it on a Tuesday mentoring period. And 11, 12 will have it, suppose, on a Wednesday under timetable, whichever period suits your. And I've used my entire pastoral care over there. And I've got 6 people in that. You can add, and I've taken my 3 English teachers also in that, because I've reduced a little other workload and I've made them as mentors for the student advisory program. Because if mentoring period is running parallel in the classes, I need those many advisors. So we have got our subject teachers trained to become advisors for that student advisory program which is being run. And also what we have done is, during that mentoring period only, we have got a life skills and we've got the career counseling sessions happening. Also, when we are supposed to call the resource people from outside, then the academic periods are not wasted. What we do is, we have planned once in a month that mentoring period will be used for the resource people coming from outside and speaking to the children. So academics is not lost if it is already plotted in the timetable.
Yeah.
And my career counselors meet the student, because I've got 2 of them. And my school is not a big school, from 9th to 12th, just 120 in each section. What I do is, individual time is plotted with the career counselors in their co-curricular activity period, in the yoga period, in the karate period. So the time is already given to the child that on this particular day, this particular time, you are going to go to the career counselor. Unfortunately, the career counselors have to go and drag them. It always happens. And I tell them, no problem. They don't understand the importance of this now. They'll thank us later.
But there's
Which has
always an
happened.
opportunity, ma'am, where now COVID has taught us to be virtual,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So Saturdays, we know we don't have to have the pick and drop thing. So if people who are very, very, very excited and enthused about doing some things, plot them till 11 to 12. You have the Zoom account. We'll help you with that. One of the career counselor can join. Students can lead doing whatever they want to. And the ones who are interested, whether for parents or the other students, those who are genuinely interested will attend. So we're not forcing it onto someone. We're just finding an opportunities. Parents are aware what we are doing. At the end of it, those who are most really interested will attend. So these are always an
Yeah,
opportunity.
we
And
always keep it
yeah,
open to the students and the parents also. We have online sessions for them, any career counseling sessions which are there. If in fact to make an essay, an SOP, some universities are coming forward, like recently Western College has come forward with some small workshop. I've passed it on to my parents. It's up to them whether they want to attend it or not.
So just to add to that, it's
Yeah.
always also not necessary that you need to have like a mentoring period. I think it's high time that, every academic subject, whether it's math or English, we have certain objectives for the lesson, right? I think it's high time you put one career objective in
very
that lesson
nice.
plan.
Yes.
Put one career objective in that lesson plan.
Right.
So if it's a biology lesson plan, I'm a biology teacher and I'm doing a DNA fingerprinting in my lesson, I spend about 5 minutes on my during my lesson. It's not in my biology textbook, but I spent 5 minutes telling my students that DNA fingerprinting could lead to a career in forensic science.
Amazing. And we saw it in the video yesterday. I don't know how many of y'all, when they were sharing the lesson plans, right? The 3 career options in the small part of the lesson plan was always mentioned. Every page had this, every lesson had that. Beautiful.
I would like to add to this when she spoke about DNA printing. In fact, we have certain facilities where just by the printing of the hands, you come to know the aptitude of the child and the career which the child should be taking, and what percentage of the right brain is working, what percentage of the left brain is working. And based on that, whether the child is creative or logistic, and according to that, the career can be chosen. DNA mapping is being done. So you can speak, the MIT, you can speak about this to the students also.
All right. So I think we're over time, but also just 1 second. Yeah, I will let you. Just the high school exhibits will be beginning. So we'll just quickly. Yeah. Don't rush. We'll just finish this and then we'll call it. Yeah.
So as it was about timetabling, how to figure it out in the timetabling was the specific question, right? So we have to look for the alternate solution. Sometimes if it is required, you can do these common sessions irrespective of the curricula that you have. See, at the end, whether it is IB or that's what I said, yes, Cambridge or CBSE or ICSE, at the end, parts of the plant has to be taught in grade 2 or grade 3. The approach or the evaluation is different. So these common sessions could be timetabled in a common way. And in the senior classes, you can get rid of few periods which are not required. Sometimes we are into that conventional mindset that if these are the specific periods for the school right from 5-6 years, we put that period for all the classes. So if you see our timetable, the segment wise some periods are scrapped. Where it is required, you have that. How we make the collaborative white spaces for teachers for HOD meetings or whatever, but these common things we can figure out, but it needs time and the focus planning. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being an amazing audience.
Management has to take it forward.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.